When visiting any Disney park around the world, there is always a good chance that you will catch a glimpse of a celebrity or two. But did you know some celebrities have worked as cast members way before they were famous? Let's now take a look at 20 well-known celebs that have worked at the happiest place on earth. Hello, I'm Disney Dave, and welcome to my channel. Here you can find things all Disney and Walt Disney World. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell icon to be notified when new content is uploaded. Number 1. Michelle Pfeiffer. Before starring in movies like Scarface, Batman Returns and Grease 2, yes, we had to include that one, the famous actress started her acting career as Alice from Alice in Wonderland in the famous Main Street Electrical Parade at the original Disneyland park. Fast forward to 2019 and her career has gone full circle after starring as Queen Ingrid in Disney's Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. This is so cool that a Disneyland cast member became an actual Disney actress.
I told you, this is no fairy tale.
Number 2. Steve Martin. Most Disney fans know that the Father of the Bride actor is a die-hard Disney fan, but not many know that before Steve starred in hit movies and became a famed comedian, he worked as a magician in Disneyland. Steve, one of 5 children, moved to Southern California in the early 1950s to a small house that was just 2 miles away from Disneyland. From the age of 10 to 18, Steve worked at the park after school, on weekends and during the summer. He first sold guidebooks at the gate, then souvenir spinning lassos in Frontierland. The ropes were hard to sell, he recalled. I had to wear a western costume, cowboy shirt and hat. I did a little bit of that in Three Amigos.
I'm Lucky Day.
I'm Ned Niederlander.
I'm Dusty Bottoms, and together we're
the Three Amigos.
Then Steve spent 3 years at the old Merlin's Magic Shop in Fantasyland. There, he sold and demonstrated the packaged magic tricks and practical joke items that were on sale. He learned all the tricks and collected all the jokes, writing down every gag.
I had a good time. I was in a fantasy world. You know, you go to work and you're 10 and you put on the little straw hat and the derby and the garter, and you're selling newspapers, and it was really fun. And I learned so much there. I was a magician at the magic shop, doing it 8-10 hours a day, and there's no experience like that. I mean, I can look at guys who do cards. I don't really do it anymore, but I can look at guys who do cards who practice a lot, and I go, I know I was better because I did it 8-10 hours a day, this far away from people, and it's just that experience is so valuable.
Steve's career since his cast member experience in live performance, recordings, film, television, stage, as an author and playwright are all well known. He has returned to Disney for several movie projects, including The Father of the Bride, Fantasia 2000 and Bringing Down the House. Steve also co-starred with Donald Duck in a special 2005 film made for the golden anniversary of the park, Disneyland, The First 50 Magical Years.
Hello and welcome to Disneyland's 50th anniversary celebration. For this truly historic event, no ordinary host would do. No, the Disney folks wanted someone who's been here from the beginning.
I've been here.
They wanted a household name.
I'm a household name.
A name that means family entertainment.
That's me. I'll do it.
Donald, calm down. You're just too animated.
Huh?
I'm referring, of course, to me, Steve Martin.
Fine. I was Walt's favorite.
Oh, really? Well, I don't remember him calling that show the Donald Duck Club. Now just waddle along. As I was saying, The Disney folks came to me because I began my career right here at the Magic Shop at Disneyland. That's me, Disneyland class of 1960. Magician, prestidigitator, and seller of fake vomit. So young Steve Martin starts performing magic here, and lo and behold, they start calling the place the Magic Kingdom. Coincidence? I don't think so. But right now, I'd like to introduce you to the man who started it all, Walt Disney.
Steve continues to show his dedication to Walt Disney's theme parks through frequent visits, although in disguise. I dyed my hair brown and wore a brown moustache. It's not that people mob me on the streets, but Disneyland can be very tough, and I don't like being stared or yelled at. Number 3, Kathryn Joosten. Kathryn Joosten, who starred in The West Wing and Desperate Housewives, worked at Disney's Hollywood Studios in the 90s. In a 2009 Forbes essay, Joosten wrote that she auditioned to work as a theme park performer in 1992, when Disney MGM Studios came to Chicago with what she considers her first big break when she spent a year performing there. After standing in line for 5 hours, I auditioned and won a job as a streetmosphere player, she wrote. By now, my boys were older and on their own, so I could accept the offer and move to Florida. I played Annie Hannigan, cleaning lady to the stars. The contract only lasted a year, but it convinced me that I could make a living acting. Number 4, Robin Williams. Before voicing the hilarious genie in Aladdin, or starring as Professor Philip Brainard in Flubber, this legendary actor and comedian began his stand-up career at the Jungle Cruise in Disneyland Park. Yes, that's right, the king of comedy was a skipper at the world-famous Jungle Cruise. Williams is regarded as one of the greats in improvisation and in creating memorable voices. He is often viewed as one of the greatest comedians of all time and holds a special place in millions of hearts for movies like Mrs. Doubtfire, Jumanji, and Hook. Could you imagine taking part in a Jungle Cruise trip with Robin Williams as your skipper? His legendary jokes were tested out on Disneyland guests, and his improv skills were born while travelling through the Nile River. Number 5, Teri Garr. You may recognise Teri as Phoebe Buffay's mum on Friends, but her first role was playing the Statue of Liberty in Disney's Summer Spectacular show in 1970. Teri said she had to wear roller skates and carry a torch that spewed confetti or ping pong balls. Number 6, Colleen Ballinger. Ballinger worked at Disneyland briefly before pursuing her internet-famous character Miranda Sings. She has detailed her time with Disney in a video on her YouTube channel and has said she was a performer in the High School Musical Parade, as well as the Playhouse Disney show. She added that she loved the job, despite eventually being fired by Disney. While I was working at Disneyland, all of a sudden my first video on YouTube went viral, she says in the video. People started knowing who Miranda was, especially in the musical theatre community. So, when people began visiting her at Disneyland and calling her Miranda, Ballinger said she would briefly act as Miranda on stage. Disney employees later caught on. According to the YouTube star, she was let go. Number 7, Jennifer Hudson. Hudson sailed the Disney Cruise Line for 6 months in the early days of her career. I was on the Disney Cruise Line the year I decided to audition for American Idol, she told W Magazine in 2015. I was Calliope the Muse in Hercules the Musical, and I was also the Circle of Life soloist in Disney's Cruise. She said working as a performer on the cruise helped her get a part in Dreamgirls because they took that as an acting credit. I thought it was great for then. It was great for my age, she said of the experience. It was great for me as a talent that was trying to be a performer, and I actually gave myself a test to decide if I was going to go for American Idol. Like, okay, I'm going to get on this ship, she continued. If I cannot get through the ship, I do not need to go to the Idol audition. But if I get it, then I can go. And I made it through.
Jennifer Hudson from Chicago, Illinois.
Yes, sir.
Says that you just finished work on a Disney cruise ship?
Yes. Yes.
We're going to expect something better than a cruise ship performance, right? Today?
Yeah, definitely that.
Number 8, Richard Carpenter. Carpenter got his musical start at Disneyland. As Rolling Stone magazine reported, the musician sang on Main Street while wearing ice cream themed attire during his time with the company. The publication also reported that he'd write songs on Pepsi napkins during breaks and spare moments. Later in his career, the Carpenters returned to Disneyland to film the music video for their hit song Please Mr. Postman, featuring multiple characters and Disneyland attractions. Number 9, Wayne Brady. Brady once played Tigger at Disney World in Orlando, Florida. Speaking with Today's Parent in 2013, the TV star said his favourite Disney character growing up was Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. He also said the character was special to him because Tigger reminded him of one of his first jobs. Brady also went on to say, "It wound up being a full circle experience for me because when I turned 16, one of my first jobs ever was at Walt Disney World playing characters, and the first character I ever did was Tigger." Number 10, Kevin Costner. Those skippers are on a roll. When Kevin Costner worked as a Jungle Cruise skipper in Disneyland, he ended up meeting his first wife, Cindy Silver, who was working at Disneyland as Snow White. They got married in 1978 after working at Disney and literally ended up having a real-life Disney fairy tale. Costner didn't do so bad after leaving his skipper job behind. After all, he became one of the biggest movie stars out there. All I have to say is appreciate your Jungle Cruise tour guides, because you never know where their paths to success may lead them. Number 11, Kevin Richardson. Years before joining a world-famous boy band, Richardson was also a Walt Disney World cast member. His roles at the park included being a character performer as Aladdin, as well as working as a backstage tour guide at one point. In a recent ABC special about Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, the Backstreet Boy member recalls working at the now defunct MGM Studios backlot tour within Disney World's Hollywood Studios.
If you went on a Disney MGM backlot studio tour in 1990, your tour guide might have been a future Backstreet Boy.
I would give a 25-minute guided tour of the studio backlot.
This was a theme park that also had working production studios.
Action! As we pulled out of the shuttle station, if you'll look off and to your right, you'll see this is our Disney animation department.
Amazingly, seeing animators at work. Beauty and the Beast was in the works one of the times I went to visit.
There was great interest in, how do you do that? And so we pulled the curtain back.
I went on the backlot tour and went on Catastrophe Canyon.
The shuttle would rock back and forth, and then an explosion would happen, and then water would come over. It was an inspiring, incredible place to come to work every day.
Number 12, the Eagles. Before they crafted classic songs that told tales of mysterious hotels or living life in the fast lane, one of the most influential and successful bands of all time, the Eagles got their humble start at Disneyland. By 1970, the Eagles were newcomers to sunny California and had just begun their road to fame. Future Eagle members Glenn Frey, Don Henley, Randy Meisner and Bernie Leadon first met when they were the backing band for country singer superstar Linda Ronstadt. Legend has it that the third and final show they played with Linda Ronstadt was at Disneyland. That night, Glenn Frey and Don Henley decided to break away from Ronstadt. Fast forward to 1980 and the band have grown into a powerhouse behind the classics like Take It Easy, Hotel California and Take It to the Limit. The Eagles also have the 5th and 7th greatest selling albums of all time, with their albums The Greatest Hits 1971 to 1975 and Hotel California. Number 13, Joanna Kerns. Another top actress who showcased her ability within the Disney parks was Joanna Kerns, who is also a former Disney cast member. She worked as an actress in the parks and actually portrayed a character, taking on the role of the Blue Fairy. To make this role even more special, Joanne played the part of the Blue Fairy in the incredible nighttime spectacular Main Street Electrical Parade. Number 14, John Lasseter. John Lasseter ended up having a huge role within Disney, working as Chief Creative Officer for the company, having directed some classic Pixar movies including Toy Story and Cars. He is currently head of animation at Skydance Media and is a former Disney theme park employee. John is another ex-skipper, having worked on the Jungle Cruise during his early years. It's what clearly brought him his love for the Disney company and creates a huge history between himself and the company, which went on to last for a long time. Number 15, Taye Diggs. Disney has resorts all around the world, and celebrities have been popping up as former employees in many of those destinations. One celeb who worked for Disney outside of America is Taye Diggs, who worked at Tokyo Disneyland Resort back in 1995. Diggs was working for the company as a dancer, where he would perform in Sebastian's Caribbean Carnival, showcasing all his charisma and talent by entertaining the guests with his dance moves. Number 16, Alyson Reed. High School Musical and a chorus line actress Alyson Reed got her start by playing Alice in Wonderland at Disneyland. Number 17, Leanza Cornett. Miss America 1993 Leanza Cornett was the first actress to play the Little Mermaid at Disney World in 1991.
Also, you're a college student, but you also entertain. You work at Disney World,
That's
I think?
right, Disney MGM.
And you have been singing the part of Ariel,
yes.
the Little Mermaid down at Disney World.
It's a great job. Wouldn't have traded it for the world.
Number 18, Alexis Mateo. Drag queen and RuPaul Drag Race contestant Alexis Mateo used to be a cast member at Walt Disney World for 5 years. There, his roles included being a character actor as well as a dancer. Number 19, Sarah Butler. Before landing roles in several horror flicks, Sarah Butler played Belle at Disneyland. Regarding getting her job at the theme park, she has said, "I initially got a job at Disneyland through a friend who was working there. He said you would make a great princess and that I should audition. So I just went on a whim to audition and I wound up getting the job as Belle from Beauty and the Beast at Disneyland. I did that for about a year and a half." Number 20, Ronald Reagan. While the 40th President of the US never played any characters, he did welcome guests on the day of the opening of Disneyland in 1955. There, he was hired while he was an out-of-work actor. So that's all for my celebrities who have worked at Disney parks before they were famous. I'm Disney Dave, and thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and comment. And if you would like to see more Disney Parks content, please check out my channel. Until next time, this is Disney Dave saying goodbye.